What is happening in Gaza is a Holocaust, and Netanyahu and Trump are open about their final intentions, which is the ethnic cleansing of the Palestinian people. If it walks like a fascist, if it talks like a fascist, and if it kills children like a fascist, then it is a bloody fascist. As the son of a Holocaust survivor, I find it difficult to make the Nazi analogy. But over the past 16 or so months, it has been very difficult to watch the genocide in Gaza and not think back to the horrific images of what was done to Jews by the Nazis. It enrages me to see the Holocaust that Israel is committing, justifying it by the Holocaust that was committed against the Jews, including my mother's family. Israel and the West have normalized the killing of children. Israel has now killed over 17,400 children, 1,720 aged 1 or below, babies who were never able to take their first steps. And to call these innocent children enemies or future enemies is to participate in the worst possible form of inhumane, racist white supremacy.
How many civilians have been killed in Gaza, from what you know?
Who gives a shit?
Okay, but don't you feel like, for example, children?
Children grow up to be Arabs.
The majority of Israeli citizens don't regard Palestinians as human beings.
כולם שם מחבלים, לצערי הרב.
אבל ילדים, כאילו.
לא, אני אומרת בכנות, לא מעניין אותי.
This is the sort of inhumanity that enabled the Holocaust against the Jews and 6 million others to take place.
The natural instinct of a Jewish mother is to protect her child. Palestinian women do not have that.
Just imagine looking at the pictures that we all see every day of slaughtered children, sometimes decapitated, sometimes with their limbs pulled asunder, and supporting these atrocities while thinking and loudly claiming that you are the victim.
Will you hide me? Like, if it comes to that, will you hide me and my family?
There is a psychosis that has overtaken the world, and Sheryl Sandberg is an example of this, who now thinks that America is dangerous for Jews. The reality is that nothing has changed for any of these people, let alone the lives of billionaires who live a life so far removed from any insecurity, material, personal, and it would appear moral, that it's simply absurd. In no sane world is a nuclear-armed, occupying power, armed to the teeth, with the support of the world's superpower, the victim. It is a psychosis of a complete and utter unwillingness to engage with the truth of the world as it is today. And it is only by living in this post-truth world that people can continue to justify their support for the genocide that continues in Palestine day after day after day. 15 medical workers in Gaza were murdered and buried in a mass grave, some of them with their hands tied behind their backs. Israeli soldiers have admitted operating a sub-army of slaves, Palestinians forced to enter homes as human shields before they get taken over by the Israeli army. Israel is using starvation as a weapon of war. It's strange to me that liberals seem to have no problem calling Farage and Trump fascists. But those two have nothing on Netanyahu, who leads an openly and proudly fascist government. What really distresses me as the son of a Holocaust survivor who lost dozens of her family, mainly in Auschwitz, is that none of the myriad institutions created out of the horrors of the Holocaust, none of them are speaking out about this genocide. We see it most palpably in places like Germany and Austria, where German police are beating up Jews who are critical of Israel, where they think any criticism of Israel, even while it is committing a genocide, is unacceptable.
German immigration authorities have ordered the deportation of 4 foreigners for their involvement in pro-Palestinian protests. None of the accused has been convicted of any crimes.
In the US, they attack and arrest their own citizens and make free speech and journalism a crime, and deport people who have the right to be in these countries who have committed no crime whatsoever. In the UK, the Metropolitan Police forced an 87-year-old Holocaust survivor to attend a formal interview at a police station for having the temerity to lay flowers in honor of those who have died in Gaza. The West has a choice: stop supporting genocide or mutate their own democracies and destroy international law forever. The West has chosen the latter.
I gave them Golan Heights, I gave them the Abraham Accords, I recognized the capital of Israel and opened the embassy in Jerusalem. And most importantly of all, I terminated the Iran nuclear deal. I was there 4 years, gave them billions and billions of dollars. I was the best friend Israel ever had.
It used to seem that Israel was America's watchdog in the Middle East. It now seems that Donald Trump is Israel's watchdog in the White House. You have to ask, why are our politicians so enslaved, so subservient to a foreign country? Keir Starmer, my own MP, and David Lammy talk all the time about seeking peace. But why do they do everything in their power to ensure the continuation of the genocide? This includes the provision of huge amounts of weaponry, spare parts and components, the flying of intelligence flights over Gaza by RAF planes and personnel. And Keir Starmer, who wraps himself in the Union Jack at every opportunity, has now conveniently forgotten that 3 British aid workers were murdered by Israel. Whose interests is he serving? While Israel continues to mutate our political class, the vast majority of ordinary people in the West see through this toxic relationship that has normalized this extreme, murderous violence. People are rightly repulsed by seeing yet another Palestinian child pulled out of the rubble with its head missing or its limbs missing. The people will not forgive nor forget, and will one day judge our political leaders and the media class with the disdain and venom they deserve. There has never been a more important time for independent media, not the sanitized version we hear from our corporate media, who seem to have tired of the killing that is taking place in our name. Independent media will never tire of telling and showing the truth. Please support Double Down News on Patreon.